This station rules the nation. True FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia.
Okay, folks. Yeah. This is the TBS, the True Breakfast Show, 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. And I want you to capture this before I start. I want you to listen up to this. Listen to this. I know you're wondering who's doing the battle crowd. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took to the stage yesterday and teaching the young guys how they can do the battle crowd. Yeah, we'll play it later on. The TBS, folks, great to be back this morning. Wednesday morning is midweek, 41 days for elections. The love of liberty matters here. Let justice be done to all of us. Good morning to all of you listening. One representative candidate said he was praying. We went to church. He decided to pray in a lot of tone. He said, Lord, I need you every hour, a minute and second in my day-to-day campaign, because with you, all things are possible in my life. As soon as the guy ended, another candidate on the far left and said, Amen. With God, all things are possible. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. My name is O'Neill. This is O'Neill Roberts, MARKA Davis. Together with God on our side, I'm going to serve you breakfast straight up to 10 o'clock this morning. After this election, Liberia still remain. Good morning to you, MARKA. Good morning, O'Neill,
and good morning to our people this morning. Every day there's something coming up, something happening, and the people of Gabon too are experiencing their own situation. Where some army officers say, after
Niger,
election, Gabon.
Gabon.
After election on Saturday,
in Gabon,
army officers say they want any regime. The
army.
Yes.
Army.
They are tired with the families. 53-year group. What kind of family? Anyway, but that is not a way to, like we have said.
The key message here is there's a reason you brought it up. Tell Liberian people why.
Like we have said, we should always have government constitutionally. That is to go through the electoral process. The majority of the people decide who they want, and then the electoral commission announce, and we move.
We'll move.
Yes. So, but in some cases too, easy. One family in power for 53 years.
But no back in that thing. ECOWAS now will be looking at Niger. No,
they're out there in Central Africa. Oh, you mean Niger?
Niger. So Gabon now is the military taking over already.
Yeah, absolutely. So
the military men thing too.
And the election Saturday said the President Ali Bongo won. People say no. So however, that's it. That's what happening in Gabon. The latest African country with coup. Because
Africa and coup, really.
So we're hoping that
in the midst of all
The tenets of democracy can be restored across Africa, which is the most one of the most civilized system of government. And yeah, Africa has to do better.
Africa.
We're waiting on the AU's position on this, and other international bodies, including the United Nations and other countries as well. However, but most of the takeovers in recent time, the guys have not listened to call coming from international bodies.
They're not listening.
Yeah, they're not listening. Even when ECOWAS threatened military action in Niger, other countries that have experienced coup, including Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea,
they are not listening.
Yeah, they said they will stay with Niger. Any action from ECOWAS, they will counter-react. So, yeah. So, yeah, democracy is election.
So
why transition of power?
Yes, while that was going on, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took the microphone on Monday. Yes, at an occasion in the U.S. Yeah, I won't play the thing here again, man. The battle cry from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She said, "Look, I've listened to so many battle cries at my age. I can still do better than most of you." Now, let play there before you do your beautiful lineup. I'm not selling here, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I want you to tell one doing a battle cry. Yeah, council. When you say Zegwe, she almost message, almost MPP though. She could. You know that Zegwe was Zegwe. I didn't continue Zegwe during the time MPP. Yeah, Zegwe or Zegwe. Yeah, but Zegwe time now have now gone. So you know the woman too, maybe she forget it small. Yeah, like Amanda. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Amanda, I will too for South Africa that actually taken over. And by the way, the standard bearer of the LPP, Councillor Telonse Gongolo, have lived up to his promise. Okay. Yes, that I must see Ganta.
So now you go to Ganta.
The way me feel.
I can be a John Molu.
Yeah, John Molu. Molu's there.
Yeah,
the auditor, down side, right side. Yeah. So Telon Gongolo have lived up to his promise that TBS wants you see Ganta by all costs. Anyway, we talk that. Thank you. Congratulations. So when you win the presidency, when you tell Liberian people, say, I will make the military to fight a war. A hunger war. They will say, yeah, tell them that live up to your promise. Yeah. Yes, what do we have this morning? 60 minutes up to 8 o'clock.
Yes, exactly. And we have the most important thing we have this morning is for the 1 days to election.
Damn it.
Yeah,
for the 1 day.
That's one of the most important things we have this morning for the 1 days to election.
If you can make it, go to the other side.
If you know your campaign material not coming,
go on the other side. Let's do it. I want to say go on the other side 3 times. Yeah. Let go. That 1 day.
Your campaign material are not coming.
Go on the other side.
If you're not receiving full support from your political party,
go on the other side.
Your campaign marketing.
Go on. So many didn't reason before that time. They didn't reason before that. Yeah.
And guess what?
Their generation have no memory.
Guess what? The top 4 or 5 or 6 political parties, they are very careful. They campaign mad because they have, you know what? Because there's elective work going to second round. So if you use 90% of the campaign mad on round 1,
you make it,
and you're fortunate to go round 2, the man who just use 50%, you use the bottom 50% to
use in round 2.
Yeah.
Don't eat your reset before time in short.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this morning, again, when you will throw light on the voter education this morning on our talking point, Lebongo service still down according to reports. So it's a problem for us. Myself and Mito right now.
Don't go on direct.
No, I'll not go on direct.
I got statement for the direct association. The direct association of Labra issue of warning to LEC.
Yeah, I was very concerned.
Yeah, man, the organization. It's direct association.
Yes, and also we'll still talk about this issue of illegally bringing goods in the country at our area border points, and it's very important that we talk about that. The custom, the immigration, to take note of that. And coming up at 8:20, 8:30, we'll give you the opportunity to speak to issues we are discussing this morning on the TBS here, and also coming up at 9:30 to 8 o'clock. That's 8:30 to 9 o'clock this morning. We'll have the CPP deputy spokesperson, Moba Yobo. He will appear as our guest this morning. He'll talk about the recent MOU signed by the political parties. They want to protect votes, right?
Yeah,
yes,
protect your votes.
That's important. So we'll have Moba Yobo here this morning. 9 o'clock, we'll bring you sports, entertainment, and commercials here on the TBS 9:15 to 10 o'clock. Seeking combined efforts to address the impact of HIV-related stigma and discrimination in Liberia. We will have a team from USAID, the Liberia Delta Activity, to talk about that upcoming conference that is to be beginning tomorrow.
Yeah,
yes,
Thursday,
beginning
Friday.
Tomorrow and ending on Friday. The team will be here this morning to talk about that conference. I think it's very important that we bring some of these things to the public so that they will understand the work these various institutions are doing in various sectors in the country. Yes, so in the midst of all country first, this is exactly what we got for you this morning on the show.
Yes, welcome to the breakfast show. Welcome. But let's condemn the what's happening in Kabul.
Yeah, sure.
Africa now. That's what I was saying, Liberia. Let's keep the peace, and the peace starts with this government. All right. But before we started with this election thing, there's a release that came as seen from the RIA. Yes, on the release of the footage of Ambassador Joseph Boyka. I want to condemn that also. So the management of the RIA, they are posted on the Facebook that said the management of the LAA, the Liberia Airport Authority, clarifies that the CCTV video of Ambassador Joseph Boyka of the Unity Party circulation wasn't authorized. Wasn't authorized, I repeat, wasn't authorized or released by the airport administration, has been speculated in the public. However, management is investigating, and those found culpable will be penalized in keeping with the policy of the LAA. Management apologizes to Ambassador Joseph Boyka and the Unity Party will do everything to avoid any further reoccurrence. So, again, sometimes this carries me back to a similar thing that happened with Shumer's Oil and Gas. You remember one point in time in the course of last month, Shumer's entire information leaked out to the public, right?
Yeah.
That's clearly brought in. Yeah, I thought you check the sound. People saying online no sound. Shumer's came in the public for the wrong reason. For the wrong reason at some point in time, right? They don't put the blame on Thomas Dona. No. Because everywhere in an institution, you have people responsible, and most especially in campaign period, there are a lot of things that sometimes can leak out. And so it's the same thing with the airport authority. We're not welcoming or saying the action is good, we want to condemn it, but the way the thing is running the social media is quite putting the blame on the whole administration. And to the LAA should also investigate this matter and let this person be penalized according to your own action. Because similar thing happened with the LRA. Shumer's Oil and Gas came in the news for the wrong reason. Schumer shut down. And everybody, most of the folks in the Unity Party was running with this. Let's talk so, talk so. I want to condemn what happened to Ambassador Boyka. Similar thing also happens to what? The LRA. When Shumer's news came in the news for the wrong reason, involving directly with Musa Hassan Belete. And everybody running here, Schumer shut down, owing taxes. It's good, that business institution. There's no single business in this country that don't owe. But what am I saying here is, when information comes up from any institution, sometimes you don't go directly from the head. It's good that the RIA management have not kept silence on this one. They have issued this release. The CCTV team, they have a department there that is being controlled by one or two individuals there. So that department should be investigated. This cannot happen to a statement. And don't interpret this wrong. I want to condemn it. I want to condemn it. Most time information leaks out is not directly from what? The head.
Yes, sure. So, and good thing about it, in the release issue, as we carried in the news, they promised to carry out an investigation, and that any person found culpable of the act of leaking the footage will face administrative penalties in line with the policy of the Liberia Airport authorities. So we're hoping that they will do that. It will not just be a mere talk. They will conduct an investigation, and people will get punished for what they do. These are privacies of people. You cannot put it in the public. You can only provide an image or footage from the CCTV camera, for example, when there is crime committed, or put us on a high court evidence.
Sure.
In a trial, for example. But for maybe what people call political reasons, you start to do these things. I think it's wrong, and I think for us in the media also, we should look at spade and call it spade. We cannot promote things that will instigate conflicts among particular groups of people.
Sure.
Yes.
We want to condemn it.
We want to say that was absolutely wrong. And the burden now is on the RRA authority to launch an investigation, and we hope that they can do so in a week or two, so that we can have an outcome, because that's the only way you will exonerate yourself as management.
Definitely, we are in a political season. This thing, and this is not because of Musa ability. I mean, Shumers came in the news for the wrong reason. There are so many business institutions that owns the LRA, and how did Shumers information came out? So everybody are running yet. Did anybody mention Thomas Doe now? No.
People are using politics.
That politics.
So however, like I was saying, the burden is on the authority, the management to bring up the investigation result, because if that doesn't happen, then people will continue to speculate and point finger at the management.
Yeah, no, but the management, what I'm saying, most people have come up with the conclusion already. Say, yeah, Martin Hayes and team is responsible. Martin Hill leaked the video, the footage of the former vice president where he was struggling to claim up or whatsoever. Is all on the social media now. You seen it? Well, let's talk. So when we're trying to balance things so the public tomorrow, you're with Joshua for future. Darius Dillon and others will all run on the Facebook. Schumachs have been shut down, owing millions of dollars in taxes. Did the blame squarely win on Thomas Doe now? No. Someone could be from the LRA department to let's take this information. And it's a normal thing. So we want to say we condemn the act, LRA, similar thing. The LA, the airport authority, should investigate the matter. And this cannot happen to a statement.
Sure.
We move.
We move.
Yeah, we move. So the rest of it now y'all can argue about we move. What we want to say, we say on our part. This could be anybody. George Weah cannot be going through that terminal if you have a footage release on him.
Yeah.
That's not possible. We condemn it. But we're in political season, but we condemn it, right? Let's move on to this smuggling of thing of goods. So maybe next week we can invite one of these businesses, small business owner. The guy would text me and say, well, most of the talk shows in Liberia, you don't focus on no business show and so forth. I say, no, we're in political space. But want to call on someone make mention of the LRA at the Liberian borders, Liberian agriculture, Liberian Guinea borders. Goods have been smuggled into this country illegally. People pay taxes. And if I bring this brand, this brand is called the MARKA Davis water, and I pay the LRA, right? Then different company knows this water is selling, instead of them knowing that I have all of the legal rights only to produce this, and you face duplicate of it and pass through the same borders. So how come, for example, the excellent energy drink, people duplicating it is coming into the country? Then how come our officials, custom guys at the border are not saying that we don't know how to enter in the country? They're meaning that anybody can come into this country with guns. So we want to call on, I've seen a lot of videos. We don't want to make mention of names here, but those of you assigned to the borders, the custom, the commerce ministry, the people you assign to the borders, goods are best going to this can't happen in Ghana, in Ivory Coast. No way. Why is it happening in Liberia? What sort of country is this? We want to appeal to you. Let it stop. So next week we'll try to bring up one of these guys.
Yes, we can try to do that. Again, the LEC issue, which we mentioned in our lineup, and we hope that what's the name of that company? Libongo.
Okay. The four things. The Libongo is actually struggling.
Okay.
Libongo, and since we announced the company name, I think most librarians know say, oh, we thought that only LEC selling through the orange money and the mobile money. No, that's a company that buys the shares for LEC and will sell to LEC. Let's make it easier for you and sell through the Lone Star and the orange, the Bongo. The Bongo entire service, as I speak, is still down. Technicians have worked. They have worked, MARKA. And LEC alone can sell to all of the customers they have. It's not possible. And so LEC is losing millions of dollars. You know what is going to happen? We're not backing the idea. Mary brought all of your effort. This power theft thing is going to happen because someone trying to buy, they can get what happen. Like you now, your meter on, we're gonna kill it right now. Your meter on red. 2 days from now, you'll be on a current.
2 days, how sure you said today?
So Libongo stands a chance of losing this contract. LSU, in the next 2 hours, Libongo can restore the network. This company have no Facebook page, nothing, no communication pricing.
I haven't seen any release from them concerning this.
But man, MARKA, I try contact them, put on me. They say LEC press conference, that a press conference. Are you killing me for God's sake? LEC had a press conference. Is that Libongo? Libongo is a separate company from LEC. The guy is telling me, said, no, LEC finished having press conference. So that's it.
Wow.
No PR pricing to Libongo. You can buy through the orange morning or the mobile money. What is going to happen? You got to go to, if you live in Broadville, kind of Duper Road, that's what they're selling the token. You sit from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Can you imagine? Election day, you shouldn't carry current in the country. What election day?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. There need to be lights. Yes. Yes, you are right.
Election day.
There need to be
election day. You tell me the ballot box will be going left and right. But yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Election day. Current should be everywhere. Libongo can make it. I think he can make it. Hire some technician.
Yeah, so
what about man, the 7 men working 24 hours? Steady store.
Damn it.
The 7 what are the hacker or what?
Oh, no, smart AI. Smart AI.
No,
smart
AI. Yeah.
After people depositing and this happening before you go low system close down.
Yeah.
So some people might left there.
Yeah.
Up to now,
but man, 200,000 left there.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. The man ate the first 3 days.
That man like investment.
Yeah. They make it sweet and member. The man for withdraw for 50,000. Say for there, I restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. So on you there's this Dupo Road cemetery. Yeah. I really want to call on the city corporation and those managing that place to stop the temporary deposit of or disposal of garbage over there.
The cemetery.
Yes. Because what is happening is that anytime they put a dirt there, when it comes to remove it with the yellow machines, they are undermining the other graves, and we have to always respect our dead, because that's why you see we set aside an entire day as a holiday, to pay some respect to our lost ones. Okay, so it is very embarrassing that you see the place has become a temporary dumping site, and then anytime you bring the yellow machine to take the dirt from there, you are undermining the grave. If anybody who passes through that place will see that most of the graves are coming out now, so it will be demeaning to see some of these graves broken. Yeah. Because seriously, it's being undermined. They are being undermined. You see
people know more afraid of
So I think the city corporations will find another, if they authorize that place be a temporary disposal site. I think they have to stop that. They have to stop that because it looks very bad. I've been seeing it over the past times, and I just thought to mention that. And I think the city corporation and the management of that place should be able to take action on that to stop that, because I mean it's bad. Only when just go down and see how it
Yeah,
looks
I've
like.
seen it.
You
I've
see?
seen it. And
Yeah.
you take a day, the next day someone come and put the same day.
Yeah, yeah.
You see the weed. Yeah, yeah. We're trying our best, though.
Because so now when
Yeah,
we see
man.
some of these action we take, it somehow make us to feel different. So it appears to us that the day we set aside for decoration is just meant for merrymaking. Because if we will go to respect them, to clean where they are, and then after that 1 week, then we made the same place out of dump site. What does that mean?
It's a sad one.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's a sad one. We should stop that. Respect the dead. Yeah, so that responsibility falls on the PCC.
Okay.
Yes, you know that area, the cemetery, right? The Duper Road Cemetery. It's a serious dump site.
Yeah.
Hey man, a cemetery.
It's bad.
It's a bad one. So decoration day with people come and give the place of facelift
there
in 1 week time, less than 1 week set. Anyway, so let's see if we can get the lines back. Let's speak to the issue we've been discussed here today. Huh? The issue being discussed here will bring the lines open up for you to speak to your leaders. As we go into our elections, we are into a crucial time. You see, Truth FM will bring you party politics. We have conflicts everywhere in the world. The most recent one is Gabon. The military, the whole government say, look, after 53 years,
just after election on Saturday.
They're not saying we're tired now. Just after election, right? On Saturday.
On Saturday was election.
In Sierra Leone, there was an attempted one. What we had in Sierra Leone, chief of police was in this country here for almost 2 days. The Liberian government had to turn over. So, looking at what is happening in these sub-regions, and as a media institution, you talk so. When you go in, that kind of ugly will cut you off. Will not allow you to disturb the late peace. So as we're telling you, say, campaign well. Campaign well when you go to the people. Those are you who can call for political party gathering. You call all your partisans, your party headquarters. Don't feel like you're only talking to your partisans. Your campaign message should go in the people's ear. If the people don't vote for you, you won't change the result, then a problem there you won't bring. You go campaign. Let me start with the CPP first. Is that on comments? What the campaign chairman said? Wisno,
Brown?
No, Monserrato. John Wisno.
Oh, okay, Monserrato.
Yeah. John Wisno. If the messaging resonates to the people well, as to why they should go and vote Alexander Cummings and Charlene Bronskin, when the results start to come out, don't be surprised. The Unity Party. I'm leaving one political party, or you keep your personal feelings with you. Hold it. The Unity Party. Most people feel that, well, Joseph Boyka is already the president. No vote in the basket waiting for you. If you reach into the people, that Liberia, this country is a funny country. If you reach into the people with the message, like Daryl Dillon using whole energy on Facebook, how many of the people on the Facebook gets 2%? You get 5,000 comments on social media, but the reality on the ground is different. If you don't reach with your campaign message, and others are doing the job when it's walking, moving around, when the people of the election results come up, don't get a problem with it. The CDC. Someone said the trouble mobile mall off on some kind of strategic meeting. Yeah, main night. Eugene Nangbe. Don't feel like, well, they won't run victory. I know where you're taking from. First round victory. The first round victory. If it's not working and you see yourself in the second round, don't tamper with it. I'm leaving one party off. Eugene Nangbe. If you call seditions, if you're making your political statement, don't feel you're not speaking to them because you have silent voters. More than 60%, huge numbers. The campaign message you send in, if you train hymns, Ambassador Joe Howard tell her good morning to you, speak to the Oman for long. Yeah, most of your campaign message, I get palawa. Yeah, Joel, if the message not reaching to the people, you just throwing hints, and the silent voters are watching. The crowd you see around you, they are not all the one going to vote. The silent voters in huge numbers. If your message not reaching to them, election result come up, don't try it. Tell them. Tell them Gongolo. Yeah, you say first presidential candidate now going to 320 towns. That area you went to, Thomas Wesson, Jackson Dole hometown. If you say something well that the people say, yeah, after your level vote for the councilor, you're the poor man lawyer. When the result come up, don't try it. We move. Let's get it line.
Yes, 0770202579 is the number you can call this morning, and Onu has the other one.
Yeah, 0770153265. Let's hear from you. Mobile up at be at 8:20 this morning.
Yeah. Let me take this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka, and good morning to Onu.
Good morning.
This is Justin Cooper. I call from Coffee Tuporo. I want to speak especially to the issue you raised about the Tuporo cemetery. As we have called on the PCC to fence that place. That place needs to be fenced, and there's a management team that needs to be set up there. And no way to agree in problem. If you fence that place, you have a management team. Although who graveyard there, maybe money they can pay certain money to you. Only one operation, people need to go and clean the place. That place at the heart of the city, right? And that's the front view of the city. So if that place is not owned by government, if it's owned by a private person or family, then people can work along with the private family, and they can collaborate and see that place and management team, security, everything could be set up there. And that's not a really job for people. Young people could be employed there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for making your point. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka, and let me say good morning to Onu and as well to the many listeners and viewers on the broadcast this morning. My name is Aloysius B. Fromo Jr., and I phone in from District 2 in North Miami County. Marka, let me join the two of you to condemn another military takeover again in Africa, most especially in Gabon. I think this continent we are not proceeding on the rightful trajectory, and this is why I appreciate you a lot. Most of you, when you appear on the platform, you preach the message of peace as we gear towards this election. And this should be the step of every Liberian. There is no Liberian that is Liberia more than any other person. And we are calling on the national government to see how best they can empower the National Election Commission. Here in the news this morning that the Election Commission is demanding another $33 million United States dollars.
Well, that was the outstanding. According to the report, that's the outstanding amount for the total campaign, the election budget. Yes. Okay. So let me take Ahmed. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay.
So everyone get a talent work out power So
yeah, then y'all go to jail.
You have to be appealing to Libango.
So what
The LEC will not get the contract back to Libango. Look, Amen. For now until the weekend, if Libango can restore the service, yeah, we'll tell Libango say this contract will not be renewed. That's
Okay.
it. We move.
Good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning.
I just thank you guys for preaching peace. But Marka Oni, if you want to preach peace, just the one way. I mean, I two examples. The last time when those divisions and it was like him of West, to kind of release, expect the body. When you move, but all your thing, once you want to start, we said the moon, it needs to be acknowledged. It is like some situation at LRA.
Wow.
The airport. Yeah.
Are you going to continue? But the body is going back again to look at the situation.
Yes.
So yeah, condemn for
No, I'll not forget it. I'll not forget it. You know the reason why I'm going back? Because I'm seeing Martin Hayes has been printed out. When I issue a Schumer scheme, when the information Schumer's all in huge, everybody was here around Musa Belete. Did anybody blame Thomas Doe now? You have a team who working in every department. So the first line of conclusion, you should attack the institution, say you need a redress to this instead of going for one man. This man has been bullied all on the social media. Go on the Facebook. No.
Okay. Thank you for your contribution.
Let someone will just come and say, well, our total number of police strength. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, please. Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Issues that went on the former vice president of the country. I want to appreciate you, Oni, this morning for pushing the message of peace because the message of peace needs to be pushed every day in our country. And we as those political parties are in a constant habit of winning wrong victory, they should stay away from wrong victory because it is not possible and we are
Bobby. The one round virtual could be possible if Eugene Nambo and others who are campaigning, they do well in the campaign message. But what I'm saying, they are more like false and going back. So the one round victory, I'm seeing it happening. Okay.
Okay. Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
Correct. Okay, Bobby. Thank you. Let's pick up. Bobby, I didn't see you just graduated yesterday. You can rest.
Congratulations, Chief.
Good morning. Yeah, man. Yeah, after graduation, man. Take a day off, man.
Thank you guys for flagging this issue of a politician who went out to preach messages of peace in order to not destroy the character of others. We had an experience yesterday at our closing peace ceremony at the ABZ program where Honorable Alexander Cummings was invited as guest speaker. Unfortunately, use this occasion to appeal to the administration of Zion. One of our colleagues, close to 200, never graduated yesterday because of this financial issue.
Oh.
Yes, President Weah, as was speculated around here, should have taken care of that. But some colleague of ours carry on some malpractice attitude, and that was not taken care of. I thought we still do it. But however, Alexander Cummings yesterday was not proper for this nation. Instead of him preaching about the CPP or to sell himself, went back to tear the coalition for democratic change to pieces.
But I guess because get what was the theme for the commencement? The message, the keynote speaker. No, institution will write you as a guest speaker, Bobby Allison. I want you to speak to the graduates on this thing. What was the theme for that?
When the team was not ready, we never have access to the program. Yeah, so we never had access to it. So to go through the team, we never had the program. She was on the platform for those that was there, except for the souvenir book that was given to us that we had access to. But however, we expected from him yesterday to say, look, for those administration, for those students that are unable to pay their souvenir and graduation,
to pay for a. So they're coming to call the Poland graduate yesterday. Let's also talk to Bobby.
I'm not saying it's a cause. What I'm saying that our police never had the money to partake into the graduation program.
Okay.
So even if the money.
All right.
Let them be able to receive that diploma, whether they are not here today, but that document or other thing I will pay. But companies never yesterday instead tearing the government to pieces. So the crowd got the north, they started blowing the boo zealot to make it to cease on that. No, and the north also
Okay.
But I still want to use this video to appeal on behalf of my police that never graduated yesterday. Let the administration consider them to receive that document. Why should they never took part in the program?
The wait for next commencement, Bobby.
Yes, why should they wait?
Yeah, they'll wait. You know, the come out of graduation. I saw your beautiful pictures on Facebook. I don't think your colleague want to receive that. No, we're on campaign. We're campaigning. Me and MARKA campaigning. Thank you. Let's speak another opposing view to what you just said. Desmond, UJ, you just listened to what Bobby Allison said.
Mr. Allison to have spoken the way he spoke. We don't want to, blame him squarely for that. We understand he's in the office of the speaker, so he has to do what he's doing. Unfortunately, but no, the speaker, Mr. Cummings spoke very well to the graduates and that of Liberia in general. All right, and the administration of AMEZ did not have any problem with what Mr. Cummings spoke about yesterday. I don't know how.
So I was asking what the commencement message. What was it? Quickly, we got to deal with you. No, forget about Bobby. Bobby, what was the commencement message? That I want to know. So if Cummings was throwing a job, then I will know. What was the commencement message?
No, Cummings was not doing the job. He was speaking to the graduates on bad governance, what happened in the past. All right, he asked people. He asked our citizens to go back to the past. There are too many bad things that happened in the past. For example, the 14 wars of civil unrest that happened in this country. So he was just acknowledging all our opinions, all right, to remain civil and to the democratic process of this country as we enter the October elections. All right, so it was just about cautioning the opinions, all right, of not going back to the dark days, of not going back to the past, all right. It was a genuine message.
Okay.
So it's unfortunate that Bobby, but again, we understand why Bobby spoke the way he spoke. Let me say congratulations to him, but he's speaking for the administration, of the AMEZ, you ask Mr. Cummings.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Desmond. We got your boy already. Yeah, you add up to that. Thank you, folks. MARKA, you see, there's a guy who just commented and say, Jim Mensah is trying every possible means to disfranchise the first-time voters in Ghana. Ghana going to election too. Yeah, but asking them to go to the district office of the EC to register. Well, lie, the fairness and transparency. 2024 is John Mahama. 2023 that who for John we are Joseph Boyka is that not coming? Stewan Gongolo. Yeah. Anyway, Sarah Besselo, etc. etc. Look, as we close up and go to link up with our guests this morning, in the midst of all we say the country first, you will like or dislike or what we say. Again, we want to condemn what happened to Ambassador Joseph Boyka. This should not be happening to a statement. But in all fairness, those of you working with institutions, don't be so party loyalty that you be taking information out from the institution. It's so sad on your part. Don't do it. Don't be leaking out information. You're in a system and you're leaking out information. It's a sad one. Anyway, yes, I haven't seen this guy for a long time now. It was great to see him. Times he's pop up on the social media. I hope the camera can capture him. Yes. More by your ball. Come find this. Good morning.
Good morning with you, and good morning, MARKA. I'm sorry for the poor quality of my voice.
So hold on. I'm hearing the guys in the technical are gonna work. I'm hearing Mova 2 times.
Yeah, I think there's a feedback.
Coming from us. No, before you go make mistake, yeah. The beginning of us said that Martin Hayes were on our team. Really, you tell the company, don't touch it here. Yes, yes. Mokba has been captured live on Facebook. Mokba Yogba, the CPP. Good morning, welcome to the Breakfast Show. How you doing?
Good morning, O'Neill, and good morning to my good friend and brother Marka Davis. It's been a while, but I'm happy to be here. It's not a strange terrain for me. I think I'm still hearing myself. So
yes. We're adjusting with your time going up. Yes, you guys, you gotta make up team, man. Mobile phone is streaming in the meantime. We're just seeing that.
Yeah.
They will put in and enter the whole system. Mobile is speaking, and we're hearing him twice. So yes, folks, it's the breakfast. 96.1 the heart and soul of Liberia, Truth FM. Let's see if it's okay now. Let's see who can try. Mobile, you okay there? Go ahead. How you doing?
can you hear me?
Okay, you're much better now. Yes. So, but what's the portfolio in the CPP?
Recently, I was appointed as deputy campaign chief spokesperson. As you're aware, I have worked in the office of the Standard Bearer for more than 2 years, with my current portfolio being the deputy chief of staff for outreach and strategic engagement. So I pretty much have been with the Standard Bearer and the CPP for the better part of the last 3 years.
How's the CPP been going? In fact, with for the 1 day to election.
I think we're going very well. Our detractors will have you believe that we've dropped steam or we're not picking up steam, but that's because they have one single approach to campaigning, and that is crowd politics. And I like that you said when I was coming up, I listened to you. You said if any candidate thinks they've won an election, they should be prepared for the shock, because everybody is doing something somewhere. So you sit one corner and think that your method is more effective than the other. So when the result comes out, you should be prepared to accept the result.
Are you guys afraid of this one-round victory thing?
No,
Yes, it's situation point the fear in you. I heard Robert Bryan crying last time. Mobile, why people afraid of this one-round victory? Rousing when you see mobile model just tell one-round victory. Then
but I think it's the fear that is in the ruling establishment. That's why I think they are taunting the idea of a one-round victory. It is empirically impossible for any one party to win out the first ballot. Empirically impossible, numerically impossible. Now, I'll give you an example. Mr. George Weah at his peak, when he has zero record to run on, zero government record to run on, he did not get more than 35% of the vote, or at least thereabout. With what we know about George Weah, how he's managed the country, how he's handled the economy, the security of the country, how our reputation globally, regionally has been dampened, to say that he will win 50+1 in this time and age, I think it's making mockery of the process. So we don't buy into that. So I mean, he should even pray to be in the runoff at this point. So that round victory thing is a pure hoax.
It's the CPP message reaching out to the people. Right? I see as on comments, Councilor Charlie Bronsky on a daily basis. Has the message resonating?
Our message is that of change, a message of a better Liberia, a message that intends to restore dignity in the Liberian way of life. I don't imagine where any Liberian would not want to live a dignified life. So that message has got to resonate. And I like that you mentioned Councilor Charlie Bromsky. She's all out. She's been in the Basel Belt, navigating very bad roads. So it is resonating, it is going out. As you come to find out that our campaign team is by far the most diverse team. We have people at the community level in the campaign. So we're spreading our wings. We're going out with under 45 days to the election or thereabout. You will find out that more and more door-to-door, one-on-one approach to this campaign is going to be rolled out. So we are going out. We're not at the CDC that will mount heavy speakers on flatbeds and just patrol the Monroe area, thinking that.
And the one strategy,
well,
you could do the same thing.
Well, we
don't truck down, go around.
We don't find. We don't.
And the strategy.
Absolutely, that's a strategy. That's a strategy. And we will tell you that's not going to win the first ballot. But we're telling you this election is an up-close election. Liberians are paying attention to what impacts their life.
Are you not strategy? I saw something on the Duper the guys blocked the whole Duper Junction and after I said like you that strategy.
I'm happy they're doing that because they are flaunting the theft that they've done over the last 5 years in the eyes of the Liberian people. So I'm happy they're doing that. Liberian people now know how their money is being used by their government. CDC did not run a lavish campaign in 2005. He did not. But they never had it. We have never had it. Meanwhile, he had just been pitched as the guy with several $1 million. But he came and ran a campaign with almost nothing. Partisans had to print their own T-shirts. They had to transport themselves to party functions. But now they are paid money to go to functions. They are given T-shirts that are printed overseas to go to party functions. So the entire thing has changed around. So now the Liberians know that their money is being used to fund the re-election of President Weah. So I'm happy that they keep fronting it. I'm not jealous. If anything, they should do more of that. Then we know how to tell you, yeah, they should do more of it. They should put 10 flat bears in every district, mounted with massive speakers.
Take all the musicians from you. Take all the comedians from you.
All the musicians and the comedians, the pastors, everybody put them on flat bears and parade them. Look, then we have the very strong and solid case that, look, your money that has been stolen over the last 5 years is what your government is now using, flaunting it right before your faces so that you can put them back to continue the loot that they've been doing over the last 5 to 6 years.
Great. So before my colleague coming, I'm a bit confused. I see opposition political parties coming on. Sarah Bezola Yenti bringing one and two political parties signing your voice. I mean, it's difficult to agree to come together, but now all of y'all say, yeah, let's sign a one resolution. Yeah, let's protect my vote. You see, people don't have a pool washer in Grand Bassel. Since one person here from LPP, that person representing all of them. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so we may all have governing philosophies and differences in our governing philosophies. Our manifestos may be different. Our focus areas may be different. For example, the CPP is very clear on how we intend to run this country. The Unity Party intends to run the country in a certain way. So too is the LPP and other parties, Grassroots Democratic Party, the MDC, or the other parties. But what we all can agree on is that a credible election is the way forward for a sustained democracy. So if we must all believe that it is only fair and proper that we all sign up to instruments that ensure that happens. So we may not agree that, okay, we want Cummings to be president or want Reverend Bezola Yanti to be president, or Councilor Tiawan Congo to be president. But what we all will agree on is a credible election. So coming together around something that protects.
You Joseph Boyka. Yeah, you need nothing on here.
Candidates, you're not suggesting I need all the candidates.
Yeah. Once you say on the show, you can't buy it.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So at the very least, we should agree that the protection of the integrity of the election should be primary concern of every contender in this election, from top to bottom.
Meeting it's like everybody acting like a big blood popular shooter during that meeting. I saw comments. I saw Musa Dolete, Luton Tape.
Well, I think it's a pageantry that comes with the terrain, so that's fine. We got election coming up.
Like I'm the very right going through the process. So
everyone is showing that they are going to the process. They will end up the winner of the process. But again, these are like I said, the pageantry that accompany the process. So that doesn't take away the essence of the meeting. Election integrity is a very crucial issue. I was just told of a coup issue in Gabon, So most of these things that happen, they come from the result of management of the country, usually through elections. That's how leaders are brought to the fore. So how they manage a country, that's how people respond to their management of the country in the form of coup, in the form of civil unrest, in the form of civil disobedience. So these are very crucial issues that we have to be concerned about. So I'm happy that opposition political parties, and I believe even the government should also be part of this initiative. That look, this election, the integrity of this election borders around our peace, our security. So we also ensure that the election is free, fair, and credible. So I believe coming together around that singular attempt is a good idea, is a way forward.
So Maba, I'm not sure we saw similar arrangement or collaboration in 2017. Why are you doing it now?
I want to believe our democracy is maturing. I want to tell you that we've been better. And then group of people or institutions that refuse to evolve.
Are there signs on the wall?
And like I said, this is evolution. We're evolving into a better democracy. We're evolving into a country that wants to protect the integrity of its election. So I don't think that should point to anything sinister, anything out of the ordinary. I think it just shows that we're growing as a country. We're building a resilient democracy in our country. So I think that's a very good step.
What's the issue of this crowd thing? Because Monday I said to Marka, I said, look, I'm not going to be convinced any political party will put up crowd and say, yeah, I've won the election, because not everybody making the crowd. Even the people who consider as an underdog have pulled out numbers. So the number thing now, I mean.
I'll give you an example of a number thing, right? So on last Friday, or I believe the Friday before last, when the CPP named our campaign team, so I paraded with almost 500 to 600 other supporters from Painesville here. I'm sure you saw videos of it and stuff. Yeah. Paraded with them, took them to 19th Street, and then we had our event. Then years later, President Weah had his tour around here, and I saw the same young man wearing CDC t-shirts. Then later, Ambassador Parker came to this very studio. On his way out, I saw the same young man wearing Unity Party shirts. Okay. You know, I guess what that points to is that you can truly measure your votes, right, by the number of people in the streets. People are poor. People are destitute. They will go out for anything to make the next meal. So if you're offering them $10 to follow you for a day, they will follow you. And the next person comes, another $10 for the next day's meal, they will follow you. So I don't think that's the truest way to measure your crowd. Well, you can gauge your strength by doing so, but to translate that into votes, I think is a very wrong concept. Now, I keep telling people, to enter the second round, you will need nothing less than half a million votes. Nothing less than that.
Yeah.
Good. So are you telling me that any of these politicians have any gather up to 200,000 voters at any given occasion? And I've been generous.
I've seen the whole block even like that.
So can you tell me for a fact that up to 200,000 person were there? Bro, you rather know 200,000 person? That's a lot of persons. That's a lot of people, right? So you can never gather so much people at any given location or occasion or a program or a venue that suggests that you're going to win an election. What you can do is ensure that your mechanism is spread out across the electoral districts in the zones, distribute. Well, I can't go into that much, with much detail because I believe that borders around our strategy. But I can tell you for a fact, we have mapped out the entire district, 70 districts across the country. We have even further divided these districts into zones, into blocks, right? So you enter a certain block of, say, 10 homes. We actually have someone there doing recruitment for us. So the issue of the CPP is being discussed at the home level, to the block level, zone level, district level, county level.
That's how you go about doing it. Okay, you're on 4th Street. I guess you're getting that job already. Your candidate is on 4th Street.
Well, everybody is on certain street.
Some 18th Street, some 18th Street, some 2nd Street, and 16, 13, and so on and so on.
Up to 20th Street.
Yeah, up to 20th Street. I don't know where. I want 20th Street. Anyway,
but that's JFK.
Yeah, JFK. Great. If you want 20th Street. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm asking with this, are you guys, this door-to-door engagement, because now the social media, you see the post, this crowd, that other crowd, this other political party chairman post, the Senate Bureau post, you see the crowd. Are you being satisfied? The chances of the CPP, what are the chances?
I can guarantee you, Mr. Cummings is going to go on to become the president of this country. I can guarantee you that much with absolute certainty. I know the quality of what we're doing. I know how we're engaging people. First-time voters are even more enthusiastic to vote for Mr. Cummings because now the age of the internet is giving us so much exposure. Young people are now going beyond the usual, politics. They actually are now asking questions. What's in this for me? How can a presidential candidate convince me to vote for them so that my life is improved? How can I have access to better education? How can I have good laboratories in my schools? How can we have good roads? How can we have electricity? Now, we even have electricity issue right now. We can't buy token, right? I would listen to you on my way here. The Bango clearly is not, I believe, the preferred choice now of the LEC. They may not renew that contract, or they may. I don't know what the issues are, but we've been fighting power theft with the help of the EU and all of that, and we are at the point where we can legally purchase electricity. What does that say?
It's a technical glitch.
You know, right. We're hoping that is solved soon, so
Yeah,
that we go
yeah,
back,
yeah.
you know, to doing business legally. But young people are now asking the real hard questions. How can our lives be improved? How can we not depend on the pockets of politicians? Because I'll tell you something, Liberian politicians, they get their strength from feeding people from their pocket. That's how they think they're in control, that they're in charge. And yes, and you know, Liberian politicians are so happy when they get up in the morning, they go outside their doors, and the place is crowded. People coming for the next meal. People are coming without a sick child needs. Child is out of school for school fees. They have a dead parent that needs to be buried. Liberian politicians, they fear of that. They get strong from that. They think they are in charge. That some other person's dignity is lowered. That feeds into their ego, their sense of worth. That has to change. Every Liberian has got to have the dignity to provide for themselves once they are provided opportunity to decent jobs and decent wages. That has to change. Government has to provide for the citizens good health care, quality education, good roads, farm-to-market roads, mechanized farming, improve farming, invest in agriculture. You know, so the government has to innovate. But then you can't have government intervening when the government is not even aware of what it has to do. It's responsibility, it's fiduciary responsibilities. So we're now going to young voters, especially who, by the way, make up more than 50% of the voting bloc. Like, though, this country will only change for you because you are the direct beneficiary of a good governance. You also are the direct victims of a bad government. So if it has to change, you have to elect a group of people who clearly have the ideas, the strategies to begin to stimulate domestic economic growth, build vibrant institutions, government institutions, by the way, so that they have the power to fight corruption, which is clearly eroding the fabric of our society. Few people taking a lot, and the majority taking very less or nothing at all. That has to change. Wealth has got to come from the bottom to the top. It can't be the other way around.
That's great. And like Mr. Cummings has said over the time that he's aiming big, he's aiming for the presidency. And I believe that for any president to deliver on his agenda, he must work with a legislature that will support his agenda. How much or how well is the CPP dealing with your candidates, your legislative candidates, in terms of support, as the form of reaching out, for example, across the various districts? Because I'm not sure it's possible that Mr. Cummings will reach to the 73 districts in the country.
It is interesting to know that Mr. Cummings is the only presidential candidate that has visited all 73 electoral districts. He's the only presidential candidate. President Weah did it because he's president with state resources. But Mr. Cummings did that after he lost the election on a thank you tour. He went to all 73 electoral districts. And
yes, but I meant in the course of the campaign.
I can guarantee you we'll enter every county. We may not enter every district.
Yeah, y'all have to break the record of
with the 3 town.
Yeah, 3 Councilor Telon Gongolo is the only presidential, for the record's sake, presidential candidate visited 300 towns.
Well, that is actually possible. For example, when we went to tour Cape Mount the other day, we visited 23 towns and villages in Cape Mount. That was the first time I had that experience. So if we did that in 20 or 30 other districts, we may also reach that feat. But I don't think that's anything, that's an issue, right? But I can tell you for a fact that we may not cover every town and village in Liberia, but we'll cover every county. Mr. Cummings is going to visit every county. The schedule is already out. NEC has a schedule as a requirement. We're going to go.
How are you working with the legislative candidates?
I'm working with them. Mr. Lai Berete will tell you. We had a tour here. He was here. In other districts, as we enter, like for example, today we'll be in District 9. Fumi Henry will be there. He'll be leading the walk. Mr. Cummings is going to walk in District 9. We're going to start by 11. We'll be there until 4, 5 o'clock.
You visit that district 14, Vamuma Corner,
yeah.
Right? That district probably is the district of the CDC. How is it like?
You should ask others to tell you what happened with President Weah went to West Point. It's funny that you mentioned that. President Weah is the only presidential candidate who has been booed so far. I mean, as a sitting president.
I mean, a campaign now. Maybe member of the opposition side can just that not support
So,
to.
so are you suggesting that? Are you
Uh-huh.
suggesting that the crowd was clearly chosen to go and boo President Weah? No, that's not the fact. The fact is, when people gather, they want to hear something that clearly resonates with them. When you start to lie to them again, as you've done for the last 5-6 years, they boo you. He was booing Great Cape County. Is your record for saying if you think Gbana more than you? That was when you had a very rowdy room. The president is there with his security, with arms, with guns, and the citizens still boo him. That tells you the people are tired. You don't need any more evidence of the fatigue that the Liberian people are now facing as a result of bad governance on the watch of President Weah and his cabal. You don't need any, but no other president can. Mr. Cummings has never been booed on any of his rally. Neither has Mr. Boakai or Councilor Gongolo or Cyril Bezos Yanti. None of them. You know, but Mr. Weah as president,
The opposition now talking. You see the kind of tone now.
you know,
You find it right? You see the kind of tone
no,
now.
no.
So
But we're telling you,
probably if there's a second round, if there is a second round,
mission,
if there is a second round, probably you could look on the other side and say yes.
the clearest
let's get
mission
this
here,
support.
the clearest mission. I mean, our infighting aside, which I think it is still part of the process, because truth is, everybody wants what President Weah has right now. So we're going to have our own side fights, you know. But the overarching goal is to remove Mr. Weah. So for that, we will unite at a certain point. When it comes to our side fights,
You're not at
our
a certain
side
point.
fights,
So meaning that
ultimately, look,
if Cummings don't go in the second round, Tehran going to go in the
look,
second
I
round.
can
He's going to
guarantee
support
you,
Tehran.
Mr. Cummings is on record for saying that if he's not in a runoff, right, personally, and he said that personally, right, he's going to support somebody against President Weah. He said personally. Now, it will come to the point where if that happens, it's still going to revert to the National Executive Committee of the CPP to make a determination, right? But I think that is his personal term.
Everybody should go.
Well,
now.
I think that's his personal term, right? I too will have my personal opinion on the matter, right?
Are you guys winning this? Are you guys making progress?
We are. O'Neil, you just asked that question for the second time.
I'm asking you because I'm asking you. I'm seeing the daily
Do you have
activities.
doubts? Do you
asking
have
are you
doubts?
making? I don't have. Well, anybody
It
wins
is
the
not in your
presidency,
position
so
to
be
have
it.
doubts.
But I'm asking, are you guys making
We are.
progress? Since the campaign team been announced, are you guys making progress, or until it's just months ago?
We're making progress. Here, Yala is doing pretty well in Pong County. I'm not sure you're following. Look, I can promise you, Mr. Weah is not going to win Pong County. That's a fact. He's not. Niba County has been so stratified in a way that is going to be a battleground state. I know it is unfortunate that a certain group of people.
You saw the crowd tell
I
pull up on
that.
him.
And I also
Yes,
saw the crowd Jeremiah Quinn is putting out. And I
Yes,
also.
So Tehran cries the same as Jeremiah Kuhn.
So,
Lofa County, Dr. Clarence Monumba. You saw the crowd, right?
Yeah, and that's why Mr. Boca is.
That's what I'm asking. Are you making progress? I'm a bit confused.
The thing is, the election is going to get so polarized, for the lack of a better word, that it is going to be nearly impossible to determine who even makes it to the runoff out of the top 3 candidates. Because everyone is making inroads. Wait till you're making inroads, someone is actually taking vital points from you. So, say for example, if the argument that Jeremiah Kuhn's crowd is the same as Tehran's crowd, right? What if Tehran pulls so much number from under Jeremiah Kuhn? That could essentially stop him going to runoff. And what if Harry Moneyback, Clarence, well, that's his father, right? Clarence Moneyback pulls so much number from Boakai in Lofa, that could essentially stop him from going to runoff. So, and they may not necessarily carry Harry Moneyback to runoff or Tehran to runoff. So there is always a midpoint. So we are strategic.
So the first round thing you don't believe in.
From no one.
You're not afraid of it.
I'm not
afraid of victory.
No one.
You said you can number. You don't want victory. Call your heart.
It's a bluff.
How much has been added to the CPP campaign since the selection of Councillor Charlene Bromsky as running mate to Mr. Cummings, considering being a female?
Well, I think it's added so much value. Millennials are coming on board. That is young people. More female are coming on board because they see that representation. Look, when Mr. Cummings tells you that he believes women can be better leaders, he actually doesn't just say it. He does it. Right? He follow up on that by naming a female running mate. And she's not just a female, right? I don't think there's just something to just appease a certain gender. I think Mr. Cummings selected Madam Charlene Bromsky. I'd like to say this over. The people of Basel asked Mr. Cummings to choose their daughter, but that was it. I don't know if you followed. That occasion, The Basso people.
Why you keep asking that if you will follow? Each time,
Basso people.
no man.
Because I want you all to be on the same page here.
No, don't do it, man. You talk about one country of Herring Yala.
The Basso people actually presented their daughter in Buchanan. I was there. The Basso people of Basole, not just Grand Basso County, but Basole, presented their daughter, Councilor Charlie Bromsky, in Bezo, to Mr. Alexander B. Cummins to be selected as his running mate. So instead of Councilor Bromsky doing the acceptance speech, it was actually Mr. Cummins doing the acceptance speech that he accepts their offer to choose their daughter as his running mate. Now, since that happened, the entire Basole has gone in a frenzy for Councilor Bromsky. Now they see it in representation. They see that, look, our true face is now represented on this, right? And then the women, those young females that are pursuing education, they now have an example. They have someone to look up to in the person of Councilor Bromsky, right? The intellectuals, they have someone that they can relate to. So her selection has added so much value, so much part to our campaign that it is proven to have changed the dynamics of our campaign. It's good that you asked that question, MARKA.
That is good though. That is good. But besides Councilor Bromsky, what big names do you have in Basel? Because the CPP is claiming hold of the Basel land.
So in the Basel land, we have Besonga Philly, we have Baron Brown, that's a senior, right? The former lawmaker. We have Toga McIntosh, Joey McIntosh from Western County. So we do have names, but again, names are not going to win this election. I'm just saying that because you ask these questions, right? This election is about grassroots approach. People that are relatable, people that you see yourself in. Librarians vote for you because they see that you actually appeal to that need for change, that you want to better their life. That's how they come around you. So which is why they see our campaign listing. You see a lot of young people, you see teachers. You see teachers on our listing, you see pastors, you see young influencers, you see artists, musicians, comedians. You see
where are the girls from Cummins? Where the girls for we are? The girls of MARKA. Where's the girls of Cummins?
We have so many.
Which are the warrior warrior? Which are the
green? I started with green shirts. We have the that's thinking about when the CPP had their convention in Nimba, when incoming president Alexander Cummins formally accepted the nomination of the CPP, and then Councilor Bromsky, at that time she was not named running mate, and then in her short remark she fired up the room and said "fix a factor," and that's where it came from.
So finally for me, the first time voters are in their numbers and people believe they can easily be manipulated. How much work is the CPP doing with the first time voters?
I think manipulation is quite not the word I would use. What I would say is that they've
maybe influence.
Well, either way, I'll try this point just semantics. But I think the first time voters, with everything they're doing, they're still asking some very key questions to themselves. How has my life been for the last 5-6 years? Right? What kind of life do I see for myself in the next 6 years? They're asking these questions. And ultimately, they will have to answer them with their votes at the ballot. When there are no vuvuzelas, when there are no flatbed trucks, when there are no flyers and everything around, they enter the room, they see the ballot paper, and they ask themselves, what kind of life do I want to live for the next 6 years? And at a certain point, our campaign will focus on these key questions. We'll ask first-time voters, young people, right? We ask them, what kind of life do you see for yourself in the next 6 years? Do you think President Weah can deliver you that life? Do you think Mr. Bwakai can deliver you that life? Do you think Mr. Cummins, with what he's done with his personal life, what the last 40 years, right? Do you think he can deliver you that life? Do you think Sarah Bessel Yanti can deliver you that life? Do you think Councilor Tiawan Konglo can deliver that life? Do you think Simeon Freeman can deliver that life? Lucini Kamara can deliver that life? I'm sorry, I can't even run it off my head, right? But that's exactly. But these questions will have to be asked, and the young people will have to answer. And the answer will have to be something in their own interest. Okay, when they say so more, MARKA, when they say so more, we can vote for them. They will absolutely have to cast it for themselves.
Great. We'll get a Alliance activator shortly. His name is Mobake Yogbo Jr. He's a CPP Deputy Chief Campaign Spokesperson. live with us on the breakfast show this morning. I'm going to draw you through the top 5 counties with the highest registered number of voter in there. Okay, so I want to know the CPP own plan for these counties. Montserrat have, I'm through the database of the NEC. Yeah, the caller from Nima. Wait, please hold on. Montserrat have 891,201 registering. Montserrat, the highest, the player by the Chakla in there. Yeah. Yeah. So from Montserrat, we'll go on to stop calling Lofa, 177,892 registering. All right. Then from there we'll move on to Nimba. Okay,
Nimba order, right?
Yeah, so Nimba is above Lofa. Nimba is ahead of Lofa. 308,442. That is Nimba. So Nimba is ahead of Lofa in terms of numbers. Grand Bassa 157,000. These 5 counties I'm calling the plan. For Grand Bassa, I'll move on to Mangibi County. Mangibi 184,445 registrants, and of course, last not the least, it should be Bon County, 237,000. Of these 5 counties, more. Look, because people can talk about stronghold. Where is stronghold?
I believe we've answered that question several months or years ago. Our stronghold are those people who are in poverty, people who want their life to change. That's our stronghold. People who believe that our government has not been responsive enough. That's our stronghold. Young people who believe that they should have the right to quality education. That's our stronghold. Young people who believe that they shouldn't have to beg politicians for school fees. They shouldn't have to beg politicians to get a next meal. Parents who believe that their children have right to quality health care. That's our stronghold. Our stronghold is not rooted in any particular region or geography. Our stronghold is the voting population that deeply desires change. And these people are spread across the country. Look, the way people get hungry in Lofa, same way they get hungry in Montserrat. Same way they get hungry in Grand Bassa. The kind of hunger fed by people in Lofa is not different from those fed by people in Riverside County. So if you think that certain people in Riverside will just be blinded by the fact that you're from that tribe and they vote for you, even though they are suffering, just as the people in Grand Bassa or the people in Riverview or Cranco County, you're mistaken. Everybody gets hungry the same way across the entire 15 counties. You know, absolutely. So
they making progress everywhere.
In a particular county, we believe that every vote counts, that every problem faced by one librarian in one county is the same as another problem faced by another librarian in another county, another village, another town. The problems are linear, they're the same, and they must be solved.
In the midst of all country first. Country first. Great. The name is Mobile Young Paul. Let's go and get the lines activated. You'll be live on the breakfast show this morning. Call us. Let's hear from you. Speak to the issue band. This calls 0770-153-265, 0770-153-265. Call on the breakfast show this morning on Truth 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. My name is O'Neill. And of course, we have the Deputy Chief Campaign Spokesperson of the CPP, Mobile K. Your Boy Jr., live with us on the TV this morning. Let's see who can take this call from all the way in Nimba County. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. My name is Zona Emye. I'm calling from Nimba County, precisely CPP, Central Nimba.
You listening to us by radio, right?
Exactly, so the 96.9 here.
Okay, great. Nimba Sakle P. Okay.
Let me say thank you to the studio guests. He has spoken with, and the good people have resolved to be graduated from the poverty over the 18 years, from the Unity Party 12 years, and that of our cities to the 18 years. We have been with a lot of struggles. So it is time now to elect one of the chosen who have the international connection, who is recognized by the international community, who have the ability to come and transform this country at the moment. But my chief is kilo. The evidence, the evidence in Nimba is very slow.
Okay.
We are not fair yet. The electors are not feeling the presence of our CPP in Nimba. So we are hoping that the HQ have to come and provide our materials.
Okay, beside District 7 in Nimba, what possibility is District 7? Which part of name are you calling from? Which part of name are you calling from? Okay, Saclay PA. Thank you. Saclay PA calls from all the way Saclay PA. I missed a call from presidential candidate Telon Gongolo. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning, O'Neill. Central keep on calling from District Mountain.
Go ahead, please be audible.
I want to say thank you to my chief in studio. Sincerely, it is time for us to come together as Liberia and deliver Liberia to Elizabeth and Gomez. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Make it be unsure. Thank you. 0770-153-265. Let's pick another call on the line. Let's go to Magibi County. Good morning.
Good morning, O'Neill. Thanks for recognizing my Gibi County. My name is Aloysius P. From Jr. And we say thanks to Mr. Morgan Yoko for not spending the liberation this morning. And one of the things that he spoke on that I want to make my comment towards is the issue that has to do with protecting the votes. While it is true that all of the opposition political parties are working hard in the different countries of this country to see this government democratic, I think it's enough that they also be looking carefully within the direction of or act this government to rig the election, so protecting the votes.
No, I don't reach to that part. Rigging the election, no. Yeah, Joe, we have said anybody will win. Yeah, win. So, but anyway, meanwhile, they won't protect the votes. I mean, it's something very important. Let's get more calls up. This person online, Warren. Let's see if I can get this person going through this morning. Good morning. Morning.
Let me say good morning to your studio guest, Mr. Morgan Yoko. So, Mr. Yoko, this election, you tell you all already. This is several three things: the past, the present, and the future. If you want to go back to the past, you can vote in the party. If you want to go back to if you want to continue in the present, you can vote the CDC. But if you want a genuine change, you can receive the titles, Mr. Kong. We're clear about that. We will carry this message very simple now to the ordinary people, and we know that we'll fight. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Let's see if I get this person on the line. Good morning. Morning.
Jesse Abuelo, the chairman of the Reverend of the City. And when you take the time to appreciate your support is spending this morning. And to also encourage the people of the interest to vote Clinton and the government of the next president on the basis of change and on the basis of integrity. That's why we normally see. If you want to understand the question of the money,
Okay. So let me hold you there. I have a statement live on the line. He's a presidential candidate, so I'm going to hold you there. I'm sorry about that. We have from Telonse Gongolo. Council, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. Okay, yeah, I did make mention of that on the show. Thank you anyway. Okay, great. So you try calling about all of the political party you did sign, you fix your signature to that document, protecting the vote.
Process. And so we be competing, we say things about each other, but in addition, we should make sure that the balance are protected so that in the reflect the true intention of the Liberian voters. Then we will provide a separate result. And we talk about people even they are hungry to be calm because the peace of Liberia should not be compromised.
The peace of Liberia. Okay. Great. Thanks for signing on behalf of the Liberian People Party.
Let me say the election is important. The electoral process is important. Because what is happening in Africa now is scary. There was a coup in Gabon this morning.
Yeah, we'll make mention of it.
The level of corruption, people in power, and mass deprivation, the majority of the people is making to be the same, which means people money democracy. The same thing is happening here. There's mass deprivation. President been for the 7-story building in 8 months. Ministers are building and big houses, and people are extreme suffering in this country. What are you doing? You
Okay. You the only person that can have visit 320 towns. Okay, 30. All right.
Speaking to CDC and the party, the old ruling party and the new ruling party, Ghana is desperate for power.
Oh.
And nobody should be desperate for power in this country. Not everybody's inherited. We should be peaceful about it. People are upset. Everybody supports me. Everybody, I would denounce you, join the government, prosecute you. We don't need, I don't want to be a beneficiary of anybody's violence. And I will repeat that every day on the election.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think we'll go back to more.
Yeah.
Yes, more. Your boy, he listen up to the callers, including the standard bureau of the LPP.
Yes, I think I don't know. He and I just said the same thing. You know, we all can do our fighting on the sidelines, but ultimately, the integrity of the election is something we all must agree on because it guarantees sustained peace and democracy. And like I've said, this may not have happened in past elections. It's happening now. That only demonstrates that our democracy is evolving, is growing, is maturing. So we are a better country democratically, and as we should strive to be a better country with each passing election. I want to thank you for this opportunity to be here. You're going to see more of me in just 40 days. And I want to thank all our listeners for tuning in. Those who call, thank you for your support. Those who are still undecided, and I can tell you for a fact, more than 40% of the voters are still undecided. I can tell you.
This
Yes.
kind of voters. Are you even taking into consideration? These are people who do
They
not
don't
identify.
Christ.
They don't
Nothing.
do
They don't
political.
call on radio, nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Yes,
But those
election
are the
they
people
go
who
and
have a message, right? It's going directly to, it's striking the core of their conscience, which is why when your message discipline, people pay attention. The loud, the noise is there. But people who actually are waiting to see, look, what can I buy into? These are the people, when Mr. Cummings is speaking, he speaks to their hearts. So they are there. Partisans don't win the election. So when I hear Mr. Weah say, seditions, Weahs, he's fooling himself. Partisans don't win elections. There are more voters than there are partisans. There are people who get registered their voter card because they want to go to the bank. What they were for? They don't have no political party. They have zero interest. These are the people our message is reaching, which is why when we have the opportunity to speak, we don't do the usual mudslinging. We don't be insulting people. We go to the real issues, how we want to change this country. And these are the silent voters we tend to reach, and we'll reach them. And before you look, the election will take a turn, and our friends will be like, oh, wow, we didn't see this coming. And it will shock them. I promise you, it will shock them.
Before you go listen to the old man, I tell you, all of you know the battle cry. This is Ellen Johnson selling. Listen.
That's all there. Thank you so much, MARKA. Thank you. I wish you guys a pleasant May week, and I'll see you when I see you again.
Great. That's just a teaser for you anyway. Great. The voice of Mobile Q, Yorkwood Junior, CPP, Deputy Chief Campaign Spokesperson. Let's get a brief out a little bit. Right here. Let's get a brief out. This is the breakfast show. Let's get a brief out. Be cool.
All motorcyclists, so please vote on our like ability. Number one on the Baleba. Olaike Belede have been a good man. He has helped with the motorcyclists on many occasions. Please vote on Olaike Belede number 1 for a better district 4. Hello to everybody. I'm Johnson. I'm a motorcyclist from Bonas Farm. Laike Belede have been a very good man. It's because of Laike Belede I'm proud to be a motorcyclist. If we vote Laike Belede as representative of district number 4, we will do a lot for the young people. Vote Laike Belede number 1 on the ballot. Hello everyone, I'm Sam calling from Zubata. I'm calling on my fellow motorcyclists to please join me for better district 4. Laike Belede is placed at number 1 on the ballot. Join so we can vote Laike Belede for a better change. I'm Josh Kilball. I live to go for Stouty. I urge you all to please vote Honorable Laike Belede. The reason is that because in educating youth, make us attend computer school, and now I'm a professional driver at the Laike Belede Foundation. So please, I ask you all to vote Honorable Laike Belede on the ballot box number 1.
Naomi Tapia is coming up with a word of sports this morning. This is the breakfast show. And so let's link on and say good morning to Naomi. Good morning to you.
Watanga Football Club delegation returned from Bamako, Mali after conceding 4-1 in the second leg of the CAF Confederation Cup Championship on Tuesday. The 2021-22 Liberia Football Association champions were defeated 3-1 at Samarkand Coast in the West leg. They needed 2-0 almost victory in a weekend to advance to the next stage. The dedication included 22 players, 8 technical staff, 2 media and 4 administrative staff. The team's captain, Faxedo Ganwe, tripped due to injury. Football fans escalated like Liberia's 2 representatives were subsequently eliminated from the Federation Cup and Champions League by weekend. Savannah's member captain Stockholm Timmins with second game and netted its 9th league goal and Tuesday's loss to Nasaf Kashi with 10 goals and 5 assists in 1 games in Christmas competitions. The Liberian record is the club's leading scorer and assist supplier, according to Brentford International. Another development has been called off by Liberia's football against Morocco and Ghana, confirmed by his club, Futura Plans. The Liberian International has been a regular starter for Futura Plans and contributed immensely to the success of Plans. The Liberia Football Association ended a CAF goalkeeping course with a closing ceremony at headquarters in Concord Town on 29 August. The course, with theoretical and practical sections, was facilitated by CAF coaching instructor Alexandro Alfredo Heredia of Argentina. Heredia, who has over 40 years' experience, was assisted by former Liberia goalkeeping coach Lucretia Stopa. 32 persons successfully completed the course. Jenny Hermoso has been barred by United Nations Human Rights Office after being cased by Spanish Football Federation President Luis Rubiales. The UN organization said everyone has a responsibility to call out and challenge sexual harassment and abuse. Hermoso said the kiss on her lips following Spain's Women's World Cup final win was not consensual, which Rubiales strenuously disputes. Rubiales has been criticized for his behavior but has refused to resign. He has taken that stance despite being provisionally suspended for 90 days by world governing body FIFA from all football activities. The message was posted using the UNHCR's official account, which has 4 million followers. The post also includes the ex-handle of UN Human Rights Commissioner Volker Turk and a hashtag Sikabo, which translates as It's Over and has been widely used by the supporters of Hermoso. Spanish prosecutors have opened a preliminary investigation into whether the incident amounts to a crime of sexual assault. Meanwhile, the Spanish Football Federation is exploring its options over whether it can sack Women's World Cup winning head coach George Vida. Vida remains in post despite most of his coaching staff resigning in protest against Federation President Luis Rubiala's refusal to quit for casing squad member Jenny Hermoso after the World Cup win on 20 August. 81 Spain players, including all 23 World Cup winners, have also said they would not play for the team again while Rubiales remained in position. Vida was spotted applauding Rubiales at the Spanish Federation's Extraordinary General Assembly on Friday when Rubiales repeatedly insisted he would not resign, though Vida has since criticized his behavior. The RFEF believes all those incidents combined may give them enough of a case to sack Vida. Federation regional leaders held an extraordinary general meeting with interim President Pedro Rocha on Monday, where they called for a restructuring of the federation to start a new era. However, a tier of the local football association bosses do not want to push Rubiales out of a job, so the UNE went as far as releasing a statement calling on him to resign, which he has so far refused to do. That's all from our sports desk.
My name is Subati Moaba Senior. I work for the National AIDS Commission of Liberia and serve as the Director for Digitalization and Partnership or Country Support. And I would just love to make some quick corrections to go further. We are actually not from USAID or from Delta. USAID and Delta are the sponsors of this conference. Yeah, we from the AIDS Commission. I'm from the AIDS Commission, and he's from the AIDS Control Program.
So my name is Tidia Yemplu. I work for the National AIDS and SDR Control Program as the IEC BCC officer and the focal person over prep for Liberia.
So to begin with, yes, like you said rightly, beginning tomorrow will be the conference, the National Stigma and Discrimination Conference. We'll be emphasizing, we'll talk about stigma, the effects of stigma and discrimination against persons living with HIV, and refer to our PL-HIV, and of course, key population. So to start this conference, we had a 2-day training workshop with stakeholders in order to create the awareness and prepare them for the conference. By the way, we have participants coming from the tribal, the religious people, the traditional council, we have students, we have journalists, and you name it. So to prepare them for the conference, we had a 2-day conference beginning Monday and yesterday. And we are very convinced that those participants that are coming, they were like 50 persons for yesterday, the pre-conference, the workshop, and we'll be expecting approximately 300 persons for the conference beginning tomorrow. Yeah, it should be a yearly thing. Quite frankly, we've not been having this one, particularly every year, unlike us. As compared to the Warriors Day, December 1st, we have annually every year. So our intention is to have this as the first one, and every year we should be having a national HIV conference on stigma and discrimination, and of course, against person living with HIV and key populations.
So the National AIDS and SDR Control Program, through the help of the Ministry of Health on the Global Fund grant, there are a lot more stigma when it comes to our clients, our people living with HIV. And this thing, they have to stop because a lot more of our peers don't come out in the community to tell people that they are HIV positive because of the stigma. And we've been creating awareness way back before the arrival of Ebola and coronavirus. So everyone have now focused their mind on those two illnesses that came because it was things that everyone would look at. But right now we want to go back in the communities and create more awareness. And HIV is increasing among our population daily because of the way in which and the mode of transmissions. And we need to educate the public on how people get HIV so they stop discriminating and stigmatizing people that live with HIV. We realize stigma is all around the communities, at the health facilities, and everywhere at job sites. So based on those efforts, the National AIDS Commission brought in this conference. And at that conference, there will be a lot more PHIV giving their testimony on how they have been faced with stigma and what can we do as a nation to curtail stigma. That's why we're here to discuss. And there are a lot more reasons why we intend to have this discussion because stigma need to go out. We need to get stigma out of this country. So what happens is that people living with HIV, and the more transmission of HIV says that people get it through unprotected sexual intercourse, piercing instruments, and multiple child transmissions. But at the end of the day, despite the reality, people intend to see different story about how people get it. Once someone has HIV today, nobody will interact with that person. That person will be stigmatized and probably thrown out. Many of our clients have faced serious stigma when it comes to owning houses, landlords, and even acquiring jobs. They've been faced with a stigma, and those stigma comes from as far as the point of diagnosis, where they were diagnosed, to their family. So with this conference will actually help the practitioners, the nurses, and the community dwellers to understand the mode of transmission and to work hard to see how best we all can fight and curtail stigma when it comes to those living with HIV.
So we are targeting the entire population, so to speak. But specifically, we got some people that will be targeted as participants in the conference. We are looking especially the media, people that are within your own terrain. We have a good number of them. The media will be also there. We have traditional leaders with religious leaders as well, the Muslim and Christian. We're also going to be having persons with HIV and also what we call key population and key and vulnerable populations. We have specific a number of persons that we refer to as key population. Why we call them key population? Because in those communities, according to research in this country, even all over the world, when you hear somebody have, the population called key population are people that got heavy HIV burden. Those are communities that got high prevalence. Their prevalence in those specific communities, like for example, we call it MSM, may having sex with men, or PWID, PWIs. We having for female commercial sex workers, and we also have vulnerable population. For example, the security sector, or the police, the immigration, you name it. Those populations got heavy because of the heavy HIV burdens there. We think as long as we stigmatize those people and we really accept the status of those people, because they're not really harmful. HIV has no casual way of. HIV is not like Ebola or COVID. As long as you don't get in direct contact with seminal or vaginal fluid or blood fluid, you wouldn't easily get HIV. And so, like what Dia was saying, the only way to break this stigma is to call the medical practitioners. They are also part of the targets that will be there, so we can be able to open up. Beginning tomorrow, people are going to see more live testimonies of persons living with HIV and key populations, and then themselves will give the story while we are there. We are expecting the government as a whole to be there, starting from the president's office, the vice president, the justice ministry, and they have consulted already, especially the justice minister. They've consulted that they will be there. We anticipate that the president will come. Just for any reason, if the president can just pop in, we know somebody from the government, the justice ministry, or minister will be there, and others will also be there, even the gender people as well. We're having a conference at the Yeshua Complex in Congo Town, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Yeshua Complex. No, we got actually the number of population we got specifically 300 persons will be expected 300 persons. But by way of any reason, if you have the time, the probably want to encourage you. You can stop by and just it's also very informative. We have a lot of presentations will be from ourselves as a government, both NDCP and NAC. We're having presentations from other partners too. So even people from the NGO, the UN system will also be part of the conference. So it's an open conference indeed, but yesterday we are targeting 300 participants. We hope by all means that our objective is to reduce, because I know it's very difficult or impossible to say you eradicate stigma. But our hope is that we can reduce this stigma to a point that we will understand that somebody can live with HIV and still be qualified to work as long as the person is qualified and competent. And we got no reason of discriminating the person. Anybody can live with HIV and you don't have to put it all in your house. Because just what my colleague was saying, every day on the record, we got complaints from people because they put it out of the house, or maybe in the school system where somebody is HIV positive and his or her or children, because they're in high school, people will stigmatize that person. And for stigmatizing the child, obviously to the parents. So it's like it's an everyday thing. To a point that people themselves are not willing, because if you can't accept me, I will not easily come to you to say anything to you. For that reason, we are also informed that people most of the time are not committing suicide. And those are human beings. They live and they need the value. They have a right to live. We'll also be talking. Yeah.
So, O'Neill, we want to refuse from that word using victim. They are not victim. They are persons living with HIV. Right. So, yeah. Right. So there are persons living with HIV, and interestingly, WHO have released that in the year 2030 there shouldn't be no one living with AIDS. AIDS is the point where the person is infected with HIV and they are sick because of lack of treatment. And as a country like bro, we have three pillars. 95% of our population should know that status, and for which O'Neill, I don't know whether he even know HIV status. So, and Michael David the same thing. So 95% of all of us need to know our stat. You're right. So well, yeah. Okay.
No, except they got conditions that will make it mandatory. We also have mandatory kind of testing. Fine.
Yeah.
So, but normally in everywhere part of the world, especially like Liberia, HIV tests will be voluntary. People, you're not really forced. Well, it's better for you to know your status, because if you know whether you positive or not, then you know where to stand. Because you can live positive and still live a healthy life and still live better life as a human being and still have children. You can stay married. Well, if you don't know, you just live in suspense. I'm afraid that you will just be too far from reality. So yes, we encourage people to go and do the test, even though the test is voluntary. But as some conditions, especially medical condition, it can be compulsory that you do the test.
So O'Neill, to the part that I was talking about, the 95% that WHO set as country. For Liberia, we have 22,637 persons that currently know their own status, whether positive or negative, which is at 66%. And those that is already on treatment, from that period, we have 21,067 persons, which is 61%. And those that is on treatment that have viral suppression, there are 16,024, which is 47%. So if for all of us to reach the 95 is all of us involvement, that is to work towards it, that will reduce stigma. So if I know my status and I'm negative, I can encourage another person. If I know my status are positive, right now we have the issue of test and treat, wherein if I'm tested to be positive, right away I should be placed on treatment to protect me that I can't get sick because of the virus. So these are a couple of measures we put in place, and the greater public out there don't understand the mode of transmission. So they just feel, I think someone got HIV, the point shouldn't come here, they shouldn't go their way and all that. And it's actually wrong. So these are things that we want to talk about, that people living with HIV, they are human beings like you and myself. They only have the virus that is within them, like we have coronavirus, and they can do any other thing. They are strong, and that's just about what we want to do. And it's not casually cutting, by using things together and all that kind of thing. So definitely.
We were still making progress very well, because our work is actually being also supported by other partners. Okay, we at the government level, we're doing everything to make sure, and our work is to motivate and encourage and also train people. Besides the NSCP and the NSC, we got other, private partners, other NGOs, other CBOs, FBOs. They are all there in the fight. We know some churches, for example, the Lutheran Church, the Catholic Church, the Methodist Church. They got HIV departments, and they are training people. And some of them made it so mandatory to a point that they even teach and preach about HIV on their pulpits. It's a requirement. So our part as government is to create the enabling environment to make sure that people can accept people living with HIV, even other conditions, because it's their right to live. They also have a right to live, a right to survive, a right, especially to treatment. People shouldn't discriminate. Those are the main things we'll be emphasizing on the treatment. On the conference. Even though, again, it's good that they are talking about 95. But how many persons know what 95 is? To understand it better, the conference will also help us to elaborate much more, because you're not going to be hearing from us as maybe government responsible for that, but you're going to be hearing from other entities, and we think that will help them reduce the stigma. Other countries today are happy today. They have fought stigma to some good level. Oh, yeah. People accepting person with HIV. They did it the same way.
Yeah,
we've been doing the same couple of years before the war. Especially after the war.
Like
It went down, but there's I mean, financial, because the financial burden was whatsoever, we still struggling to do it, and we still have to do it.
yeah, like East Africa, people can walk to say, "Oh, I'm HIV positive," and
identify
and, and,
themselves.
and there's nothing about it. But here in Labro, I can't say, "Oh, O'Neill, I'm HIV positive." Before I get outside there, a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, to see me." You know, so these are things that we want to cut to. Education, we need to provide more education. So we need national government to look into this portion when it comes to creating, enabling us to creating more awareness to our populace. You know, we know we're in a political system, so that could be one of the chances that we will have, you know, as national program to go out and create more awareness, because there are a lot more people that are available at places of gathering, and then we could talk to them about health, and that will actually help to reduce the issue of stigma and discrimination. Yeah, so when I talk about the target and goal, so for the first target, I says every person's need to know their HIV status. Labro, we are 66% out of 95%. The second period that talks about those of us that know our status should get on treatment and get on the HIV treatment, we are at 61%, which we should be at 95%. Other countries are way past 95 already. And those of us that are on treatment need to have the check our viral load, whether it's increasing or it's decreasing. And if it's decreased, we have just 47% that is on the treatment and their viral load is suppressed. So that's what we are as our target and achievement. But the fact that these are things we look at and we want to go out further to make sure that we all have a say in this conversation, that people living with HIV, they can be accepted, and we can encourage them, those that are already on treatment for the past 6 months and above, can go back to the health facility, get the treatment, test whether they are virally suppressed. And the interesting part of it is that those with HIV and they are virally suppressed, they are not able to infect anyone having sexual intercourse. That's the interesting part of it.
And that's the most important secret. Treatment by itself is prevention.
Yeah.
So, and we got success stories in this country, in Liberia right now, that the persons living with HIV that are violent, some of them are violently suppressed. And I mean, according to the WHO standard, we got witnesses that people are not violently suppressed to a point that even the test we do here now will not determine. If you just do a test for somebody that's violently suppressed to the very good level, he or she will not show that they're positive. And they can have partners, they can have sex even without condom, and they can have children as well, both the male and the female.
So there are almost all the health facilities in most rural country and nationwide have antiretroviral drugs that is given to people that is diagnosed with HIV free of charge. Those drugs are being bought by the Global Fund. They sponsor the National AIDS and STI Control Program, TB program, and the malaria program. So they buy those drugs. The drugs are available. And the interesting thing is that once you are adhering to treatment and you are pushing like continuation on your treatment, we give you 6 months treatment, wherein you don't have to come to the hospital every month. We give you 6 months treatment, we give you 3 months treatment, depends on your adherent rate. So you don't have to come to the facility every month for treatment. So if you are tested today, you positive, and after a month and you keep coming back to the facility, we look at that and say, okay, the person can take 4 months, 3 month treatment, and then that person can go and have their own time while they're taking the drug. So the thing is, drugs is available at all health facilities, and there's no shortage right now. So we encourage the health facilities staffs, most especially the supply chain, to do timely requisition if they realize that the drug is going out of stock, so they could request for it on time. But there's nobody anywhere, PHIV, that is paying a dime for that ARV. And the drug is so much expensive, so Global Fund take the cost of that. So nobody is paying for any drugs around.
Especially at government facilities. I want to make the emphasis. Like the Dia said, we have treatment at all facilities, we agree, but especially at government facilities. All over the country, we have ART sites in the 15 countries, and even more in most of than any other country. And they are free.
Yeah, so there's a new one that just came in country. They call it PrEP, PrEP. That is a pre-exposure prophylaxis. So that drug, in combination with the condoms, it helps you to have unprotected sex without condom. That is, you take a some male at birth will take 2 tablets of that drug, and within 2 to 24 hours, that person is fully covered, and they can have unprotected sex with any person, whether the person is HIV positive or not. They won't get HIV. Yeah, so that drug is also available at few health facilities, and we're trying to roll it out more to the public. And it's in combination because that drug doesn't prevent you from getting the sexually transmitted infection. It also don't prevent you from impregnating other people, most especially as a male. So it only prevent HIV, prevent you from getting HIV. So if you don't want to get HIV, be my guest, and then you have a can of the PrEP, and you could continue having your fun.
And the first requirement for that, you must be HIV negative.
Yeah.
To get on PrEP, you must be a negative person. We still have an experience of people using PrEP the very ugly way, thinking that you can just do everything. And I'll compare it at the trip yesterday. I was comparing it to what our guys, our women call depot or depot.
Yeah.
But at the 3 months, the 5 years, whatever it is, those drugs that go into your system, they will not prevent any other STI, only HIV. So I mean, we like to tell the public this. Be very aware that to do PrEP, you gotta be HIV. You gotta do your test first and be HIV negative. Then you can get on PrEP. And you use it very wisely.
So, Marcos, some of my colleagues or friends will call me, man, yeah, you the focal person for PrEP, and I want PrEP. But the thing is, you have to be tested, and nobody's no, man, I want to do tests, but yeah, give me the drug. So the thing is, you have to know your status, whether you're HIV positive, because we don't want you to come back to the national government and say, oh, they brought another drug in the country and people start taking it and they are HIV positive. So when you do your test, it's negative, we enroll you on that. If it's positive, we put you on ad and you start your treatment to reduce the viral load. So, Marco, you could take advantage of the new prevention. It's good. You could do it with condoms and lubricant plus your PrEP, and that will actually help you to continue your fun when it comes to preventing HIV. But there are a lot more other prevention when it comes to other modes. Like for mother-to-child transmission, we say that all mothers will go to the hospital regularly for ANC visits. And now it's mandated that all pregnant women will be tested for HIV because of the child, not because of you. So all pregnant women currently are being tested for HIV at every visit that you go to. And then we encourage people to not get sick of malaria because it will reduce your blood. And then if you reduce your blood, you will need blood. So we're encouraging blood donors also to be tested earlier and then have blood in our blood bank so to prevent the issue of HIV transmission.
Yeah, so just before we go where we promote everything on the here when people hear about just this happening, they kind of panic that people saw it as a whole like almost like a death threat. What is the level right now among the population?
Quite frankly, we can safely say that I think the level is sinking down gradually, even though we still got stigma and discrimination high. But if you compare the years when the HIV was first recognized up to the closing part of the 4 years and even after, even in one of the groups, I may be very frank with you, one of the groups who are responsible for this erroneous information. I believe I will be specific, even though, I mean, big up institutions like the Army Radio, our own obvious. People will say, oh, because they're not informed. That's the reason we're also helping to train journalists. We have a media group headed by Nikos Andrews. I think you know him. He used to be the Anti-AIDS Media, but now they have another name. Well, we are working along with that group. Okay, very well. And the reason was that to help you speak the word, like the Dia said, you don't call people the HIV victims. Okay, if you don't know that, you'll say it. So on my radio, many times you'll be so happy. If you get HIV, your wife will get HIV. If your wife gets HIV, she's pregnant, the baby will get HIV, and the baby will die, the wife will die. So it was troublesome. But right now, to some very good level, I must admit, where people understand it easily. That why people are easily convinced to come and give testimonies about what's happening in their own life. Well, that can easily be reduced if we go to the conference, if we learn more, and we continue to get really thoughtful like as such, and we continue to do more education in the community, at the workplace, at the schools, and the rest of it. So that's the reason why you say Delta putting the funding behind this kind of thing, so that they're helping the government. Their process to help the government, help us, the government, to make sure this thing can work in all the communities. Stigma is more high in the community, I would say, even compared to the facilities. It's more, I mean, the nurse, the doctor, the PA, whoever, the laptop technician, they all live in community. Patients themselves live in community. We all come from the community. You church member, for the most, we all come from the community. If the community starts discriminating or stigmatizing you, my friend, nobody will help you, even especially the family. So the conference is actually geared towards reducing stigma, and it's our hope that we will have this conference maybe even twice a year if we can get the funding available. So a profile of participants that we love to just outline here. Like I said, we'll be having the media, we'll be having religious and traditional leaders, we'll be having law enforcement officers, we'll be having your organization like FLAG and other groups. We'll be having finances and resource information institution. We'll be having a UN agency representation there, NGOs. We're also going to be having people from the unit from the Global Fund, the PCU, of course, office of the president. Like I said, we really hope that he will just pass by and greet us. We'll be happy if he can't even stay. Office of the vice president, office of the first lady. I mean, you name it. All important sector of this country will be there. In fact, we are also inviting. We have a decentralization program that I had at the commission. We're also inviting the people from the counties, especially for those for counties around here. We are expecting the CHO. We're going to have also the doctors. We're also expecting superintendents. They will also be there. They have applied. We invited them long time, and they've assured us they're going to be there. They are going to be there with a lot of young people, including students as well. So for tomorrow and the after tomorrow, in fact, quite frankly, this conference was planned for 3 days. It should start tomorrow up to Saturday. But we all know that, Saturday, to just hold people together, it can be so simple. So we still intend to even reach it further. But for now, we are very sure that by tomorrow and the after tomorrow, with all the presentations and the key, we're going to be having on the side, besides the ordinary plenary that we will go to, and we'll be having panelists, and we'll also be having some other guests, including the panelists that will be doing presentation, and they will have reporters there. We'll have people will be monitoring question and answer. We'll have also a separate time. We will leave plenary, we'll go to various side rooms that people will be able to ask more. In plenary, maybe you may not have the time to ask these questions, but actually we will be there, including other partners. We'll have side rooms, about 3 side rooms conferences. I will be going ahead concomitantly with the how do you call it, with the main conference. It will go on from tomorrow all the way to Saturday and the rest of it. We're going to be having media people. Like I said, it's actually the beginning. Arrival time at the conference will be by 8 o'clock. We encourage people to come by 8 o'clock in the morning, because we want to pick up from 9 o'clock or more. We want to start with the first plenary section. Our chair will also be there. The chair ourselves will be also giving another section. She's going to be presenting. We will all be involved. The NSCP boss will also be there as well. I mean, we talk about professional people that really know the issue. They're going to be there, and we'll encourage the public to ask. By the way, we're not going to have media people. It's going to be live. We're going to show that it's going to be live. So you can even stay. You can stay from your house or from your community and ask some questions directly. So it's going to be a time of fun, entertainment. Cultural groups want to be there. We're also hiring comedians to be there. It's going to be so entertaining. And you can rest assured we're going to have lunch, breakfast. We're going to have everything, supper, you name a coffee break. I'm saying that because I know the last 2 days we just had, just Monday and yesterday, my brother. In fact, the president will tell Mr. Mama, we try our coffee break. What kind of coffee break there? So we're just giving them enough coffee.
Speak the thing instead of having a lot more coffee break.
Enough will be there. Enough will be there. People will not regret. You don't even miss your house for those 2 days when you're around the conference there. So we are targeting not less than 300 participants in attendance, but like I told Oni, we will even appreciate any passerby, meaning if you are interested in the conference, you may not be on our list or your institution may not be there. Or I mean, it will be an open discussion. If you can't sit in the plenary, you also be invited to go to some of the side rooms, side discussions, and they will be lively. So yes, we want to do our persons. Yeah, the pre-conference training for advocacy that we just had Monday and yesterday, we actually expected not less than 50 persons. But to my utmost surprise, we were almost between 75 to 100 persons. We had to even ask some of the people to, I mean, we couldn't accommodate everybody, but we anticipating 300 persons, not less than 300 at the conference. And we encourage people to pass by. And you will have some good reasons why you will not stigmatize and or discriminate person of HIV. I'm sure most of them are doing it because they are not informed.
Yeah, because lack of knowledge. That's the thing. We want to clear out that we want to create more awareness at that conference, and we're not stopping at the conference on it, but we want to go beyond that, from the OPD in the hospital to the communities, and to create a lot more awareness when it comes to the more transmission, how people can prevent HIV, because without education, people will curtail on the issue of stigma and discrimination to our people. Because stigma is a huge thing, it kills people. And stigma is a mark that people place on you. You don't even know that mark is on you.
Sure.
And everywhere you pass, oh, you see that person get HIV. You see that person. They don't even say HIV though, say AIDS.
Those are AIDS.
AIDS is when the person is bedridden and unable to walk and is doing everything by themselves, they need care. But that person is walking and is healthy, but getting sick because of the virus, and then people get considered then they got AIDS, and everyone runs with that. So these are things that we really want to do, and with the media, and we want to try your best so you guys can give out the positive messages. If you guys have the time that you want to have conversation, we'll come around and provide more information to the public when it comes to HIV, stigma, and discrimination. So I want to start on behalf of the program manager, Dr. Jonathan Flomo from the National AIDS and STI Control Program, and all the staff. We want to say thank you for the opportunity that we have to discuss these issues, and we encourage the general public to turn out at the conference and work to any health facility to get tested for HIV, because that's the way in which we all as country can be able to reach the 95. We all need to do that. And if you are positive, we place you in care. The drug is very free and available. The nurses will talk to you very good. And if you are negative, we'll have to give you condoms and lubricants, plus the PrEP if you want to, and to prevent you from getting HIV. And another sad thing is that because this is now a political talk show, so we don't receive calls, so it's not an issue. So we just hope that you guys can turn up. We're not surprised of that, so you guys can turn up and thus have and reduce the issue of stigma and discrimination in our country.
So let me just also close by saying, on behalf of the chairperson, Madam Theodosia Sloan Kudi, the executive director, the commissioner, Mr. Wright, we want to again send an invitation, an open invitation to everybody. You at the workplace, you in the community, in the markets, at the whatever time you have tomorrow. The conference will run from between 8 o'clock, as I said, in the morning. We'll be leaving from the conference not less than 4:30. We may even run to 5 o'clock. It's a whole day affair. So we are expecting people to be find the time to be available at the complex, the ministerial complex. We also want to inform the public that at the level of the AIDS Commission, we are also embarked with the help from other donors too. We are also embarked on opening a legal clinic, a legal office. Meaning we got a legal office, even though, but this time around merely to report cases of stigma discrimination. So we're going to be developing a hotline. And when we had the program, concerning the legal office, we're so glad and opportune that most of the partners can embrace that. So that will soon be into effect immediately after the conference. The legal office will be open. We got people, we got lawyers right now. We got legal officer at our commission. We're also having more legal officers that will come and be helping the program staff there. So you will not have no excuse for anybody stigmatizing you or discriminating you. You just go to the call. The lines will be available. I can't call the numbers today because it's still setting it up. and we will do that. So tomorrow, please, even at the level of the commission and the program, we are going to do everything possible to have everything in there enough that we all can enjoy the 2 days there at the Ministerial Complex.
Okay, thanks ever so much for coming. We are from the National Agency here. We want to talk about the outcome conference. We just